it's me again, and we are discussing grief in the process, right? We are kind of continuing on, not kind of, we are. We are continuing on through our series of the process. A lot of people don't speak about the process. They speak about the things that the end destination of, the glitz, the glamour, the great things that has happened, the things that you kind of went through when you are on the other side of it now. You're on the other side of it, but very rarely do we share our process. So welcome to Pure Wisdom series of the process. We speak about many topics through the process. We cover a range of topics being in the process. This video is talking about grief. Knowing grief is something that puts you in a very dark space. Grief is when you lose someone. Grief is, and it doesn't necessarily have to be someone dying or passing over to the other side or leaving this physical world. Grief could be a relationship. Grief could be a friendship. Grief could be, you're going through, or you lost a job and you're grieving. Whatever it is, you're processing the negative part of something that happened in your life. So that grief comes, and with anything that's in the process or going through the process, it's always heavy. You always feel heavy. There's this darkness. You have all of these negative emotions, anger, resentment, strife. You have all of these different emotions, right? And there are negative emotions going through the process. So I wanted to open up and share the process that we all go through. No one is exempt from the process, but knowing how to handle yourself through the process is vital. So that is what Pure Wisdom is here for. Pure Wisdom is here to help you go through the process and let you know that you're not alone. We all go through the process. This is a journey. This physical life is a journey, and there are many processes inside of processes that you're going to grow through. And that, if you heard the word that I said, grow, not go. You're going to grow through, because the process is meant to strengthen you, to prepare you for that next level and that next destination. So grief. What is grief? Grief is that feeling of discomfort. Grief is knowing that something is not sitting right, or something is not right inside of you, and it's time for you to go in and examine. Now, I want to give you some situations or experiences on grief for myself, to be example. I grieved over my grandmother, my great-grandmother. My great-grandmother was more so of a mother to me. And in 2011, she left me. She left me about 20 days after I got married. But she left me, and that was the mother that I knew. Now, my mom was in my life, and she still is in my life, but there was a grief over my grandmother, because that was the one who molded me into the person I am today, along with my mother. But I grieved. I was heavy. I was lost. And in that grief process, I went through many things. I went through, I'm just being honest because I'm sharing with you the process, but I went through kind of trying to try my hands in all different things. I went couponing, and I called myself trying to create a website where I was going to be an affiliate marketer, and I started this job and I stopped that job, and all of these things through the process. Why? Because I was grieving. I was grieving, and I didn't know how. I didn't have any professional help. I didn't have anyone to coach me or guide me through. So I'm here to tell you that grief is a normal part of the process. We all go through some form of grief at some time or another. So I'm here to just share with you that it's normal. It's not outside of the ordinary. It is your growth factor. It's your growth factor. So let me tell you what I did. Even though I was going through all of that crazy stuff, my son was going through it. My husband was going through it. I had a newborn baby at the time. So many things was happening. Like, we was in chaos. I mean, just looking at it now on the other side of it, 8 years later, like, wow, I went through some shit. But it made me who I am, and sharing that process with you, even during that process, I grieved. Grief does not have a time limit, nor does it have a timetable. It is how you take yourself through the process. And so while I was grieving one time, I tried to commit suicide. I tried to take some pills because it just got heavy and it was too painful for me to bear, I thought. But just as your God state, your most high creator, he give you what he know that you can handle. He doesn't put no more on you than what you can bear. He knows that you can bear. He knows your limits. Your most high creator knows what you can and cannot handle. So when your plate seems to be full, it's for a greater purpose. It's for your growth factor. And most of the time, 9 times out of 10, it's not necessarily for you. It's to strengthen you, but it's for you to come back and teach another. So knowing while you're in your grief, the purpose of your grief. This is a message to let you know that the purpose of your grief is for a few reasons. One reason, the most important reason, is to strengthen you, to heal you from all of those past life experiences. The second thing is for you to experience so you can know what it look like, know what it feel like. And the last and final thing is you are to go back and share your experience with another to help them out of that hole of life, that dark hole of life that many of us, all of us, get stuck in at some time or space throughout our journey. It is important for you to be able to share your experiences because your experiences wasn't solely just for you. Our job here on this physical earth is to come and learn, evolve, grow, and give back. It give and receive. It's the equal balance of the yin and yang, and it's very important and vital for you to learn the things that you're supposed to while you're in the process so that you can teach another to go through to make it easier and lighter on them. So know that while you're grieving, your grieving isn't just for you. Your grieving is for the other person, the other people that is in similar situations, that will come through similar situations after you. And you are to coach them through and how to get through it. Now, here is the tidbit. How do you get through it? I went through it. I tried to commit suicide, and it's not happy. It's not funny, but it's truth. A lot of people don't share it. I've cried myself to sleep. I was angry at everyone. I isolated myself from outside world. No one knew what was going on. I just isolated myself, and I went through this heavy, dark period of grief. But when I came out on the other side of it, ta-da! On the other side of it, 8 years later, I'm on the other side of it, and now I'm able to share it with you. But how did I come out of it? That's the thing. How did I come out of it? Let me tell you how. There were many days I went and meditated. I never knew what meditation was. I did not know what meditation was. When I was grieving, though, I grieved for about 5.5, 6 years, literally. But while I was grieving in that process, I was meditating. That's what kept me. I didn't go through the process without things. I had resources, but my most important resource was my internal essence. I meditated. I never knew what meditation was. I reached out to someone. They taught me how to meditate. And there isn't a perfect way that you meditate. There isn't a certain way that you meditate. The most important thing with meditation is for you to just sit and allow your thoughts to come and go and not focus on one particular thought. It's for you to sit and be at peace with the inside of you, despite of all of the outside things that's going on. So, while I went inside of my internal essence through my grief process, I went through a series of supernatural experiences. They were amazing. They were so freaking amazing. And I'm very grateful to be able to share with you the processes that I went through, because it's beautiful. Now I'm on the other side of it, but it was hell. It was hell. I was grieving. I was grieving over a grandmother. I lost all my friends at that time. Well, I didn't even lose them. They just disappeared, because my most important job was for me to go inside of myself and get at peace. So, what happened in meditation? While I was in meditation, I went through a series of supernatural experiences. Meditation, I would send my family to work and to school, and I would sit home. I would listen to preachers preach. As a matter of fact, it was T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, and Joyce Meyer, as to be exact. I listened to these three preachers every single day, one after another. And after I listened to them, I cut everything off and I sat down in my couch and I sat and I just meditated. I got still and I was quiet and I closed my eyes and I didn't do all of that. I didn't do all of those things, but you get what I'm saying, right? We got to make light to this stuff, because when you're in that dark moment, when you're in that dark space, it's not funny. It's not funny. It's not fun. So, I'm making light of it now, but I just want you to know and understand that the light is at the end of the tunnel. It's not how you go through the process. It's how you grow through the process. It is you going inside the internal essence of you. So know that we all grieve, whether you're grieving over a lost loved one. And another aspect of grief is really friendships. Friendships, significant others, you separate from friends, your friendships come to an end, and you value that person or you love that person in your life. Well, you're going to feel pain, right? You're going to feel pain. You're going to feel discomfort. Those situations, those experiences, those emotions are meant for you to go inside of yourself and see where you have been dependent upon that relationship in a certain way to help you through life. Your own internal essence inside of you, your queen and king's essence inside of you, it's your GPS. It's your roadmap. It is your compass. But you have to connect with it. You have to go inside and connect with that internal GPS. So knowing that grief is not just isolated to the death of a loved one. It is many different processes of being separated from people, places, and or things that you love, that you really formed a comfort with, and it made you feel good in a certain way. And when that is disturbed, you feel a certain way. So I just want this message to remind you that even while you're in grief, there is a greater purpose, and your grief is strengthening you for that greater purpose. So I want to go back to the supernatural experiences, because you too are to have these experiences. We're living in a physical body. We're in a physical world, but we are spiritual beings having these physical experiences. These physical experiences is strengthening our core, so that whenever we leave this world satisfied. We leave this world with a peace and whole. So having a supernatural experience is nothing outside of the ordinary. And as consciousness has shifted in our world, a lot of people are having supernatural experiences and aren't able to explain it. That's what pure wisdom is for. I've had these supernatural experiences for the past 10 years, literally. But just being able to share with you, my supernatural experiences they only came when I went inside of my eternal essence. And those times of me going inside of my internal essence was when the outside got too heavy and too thick and too dark for me. I went inside of myself and I saw the streets of gold. I was able to connect with my angels. I was able to connect with my spiritual team to guide me, to coach me, to assist me. The rainbows, even down in the physical world, you see rainbows here, there, everywhere. That's a sign. There are many signs and wonders throughout of our vast world that our Creator wants to guide you through. So I want you to be mindful while you're going through the process. I want you to understand the importance of your internal essence, listening to the inside of you, allowing the inside of you to guide you and instruct you, your internal GPS, to give you the things that you need so that you can move the way that you're supposed to, so that you can give back from the experiences that you had. So knowing grief is a normal part of the process, you're able to cope better. If you do not feel that you're able to get through it, because everyone can't get through grief alone. Of course, Pure Wisdom is here. I'm here to help you. I have many courses, I have many services, I have individual sessions, whatever works for you. I want you to know that Pure Wisdom is here for you. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. Of course, you can contact me via email, and that is support, SUPPORT, at pure, PURE, wisdom, WISDOMINC.com. You can email me, or you can just send me a message here via YouTube. It doesn't matter. Social media platform, it doesn't matter. Reach out to me. You can even call me, text me. But please know that I do monitor. I do limit myself because, again, as I teach you, I have to pour in and replenish and recharge myself. So know that I am available for you, with you, and I'm here to help you through. So don't hesitate. My number is 704-562-7500. Of course, I'm here to help, and I'm here to be that shining light. Our process on grief, living in the process, going through the process on this journey called life, is not an easy one. I just want to encourage you, and I want to inspire you to keep going and don't stop, because typically when you stop, you're at your breakthrough. Don't stop, keep going. If you need that little bit of motivation, inspiration to push you through, again, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Of course, it is I, it is me, it's she, providing you with these pure wisdom nuggets. Know that I love you, but most importantly, God loves you too.